Ducks and Beavers men's basketball in Los Angeles right now. The Ducks got a nice win. Not that USC is good. USC is pretty bad. I was watching both of these games, dual screening it, and I was just shocked how bad Andy Infield's team is. God, they're bad. And Oregon went out there winning. They played their best game. Shellstad had a nice showing. You got some big plays from N'Faly. You got some nice plays from Cousinard. But for the most part, handled business against the Trojans. USC did have a little bit of a comeback at the end there. Pressed them, but Oregon was able to maintain, hold on, and they get a much-needed win because Arizona beat California. So they're trying to stay right within striking distance at the top of the conference. They beat the Trojans, and the Beavers went down to UCLA. That was a weird line. 10.5 was a lot of points for a UCLA team that I don't think is very good.
Yeah, I bet that Oregon State line.
You did?
I did.
You gamble on college basketball?
Yeah, last night. What else was there? There were 4 NBA games, and the NHL All-Star Weekend is starting off. So there was literally
the Pro Bowl. Dodgeball, feel the mojo.
Yeah, so it was literally NBA and college basketball.
An offshore, degenerate college basketball gambler. I love it.
Damn right I am.
Oregon State on the road is not anything that they are at home. And I know certainly you can point to a lot of programs that say, yeah, they go on the road, they're not as good. Their numbers are jarring when they go on the road. They're it's a 16-point swing. Percentages are all over the place. And Oregon State in a position, they were hanging with UCLA. They went a 5-minute stretch without scoring and still within striking distance, kept it, right in that 4 to 5 point range. Didn't get much. Outside of Bilodeau, who was their leading scorer, and Pope being good, they didn't get a whole lot. Their starting center is not very good, and I don't know what it is, but Wayne Tinkle's team goes on the road, and they can't perform at all. If you can't beat USC, you pack it up for the year because it's a done deal. USC is the worst team in the conference. They should at minimum be able to win that game. But Oregon keeping up with Arizona and Oregon State still being stuck at the depths of hell within the Pac-12 conference.
Just hearing you say USC is the worst team in the conference, it makes my heart sick.
That makes you feel good?
Oh, that makes my sports pants tight. Sorry, love you, Danny Meringue. I'm sure he's not.
I don't think he cares about USC
basketball.
He's
not living and dying on the success
unless
of
they're
USC
good.
Basketball.
He's that kind of college basketball guy.
Well, I think I'm kind of that college basketball guy too. Because if the Ducks were ranked number 5 in the country right now, I'd be like, yeah, and N'Faly Dante, Player of the Year. But I digress.
3-7 in conference versus 7-3 in conference. That's what we have right now in our state.
I told you, I think a couple weeks ago when I was hearing for Swag, the Beavers really should have tried to shift gears in their college basketball game like years ago. I get it, the Elite run or the Elite 8 run with Tinkle. I guess you still have the feels about that, but I don't know. This was a good situation if, and this is just hindsight being 2020, if you had the foresight to see that the conference was starting to break apart, maybe put a little bit of investment into that lesser known program because guess what? NIL works in college basketball too. There's guys going to FAU University because it's in Florida. Like
Final Four team though.
But nobody knew that they were going to be a Final Four team at that point, and I feel like NIL kind of helped a team like Florida Atlantic University become a Final Four team. So Beavers, if you got some money, if you got some of that alumni dollars coming your way, you could make that change as well.
They're not in that position.
No, they're not.
I don't know what Tinkle's going to do. Even 10 years and he's got a couple runs, but...
And it was Craig Robinson before that. It's just been a lot of lackluster.
Yeah, the hoops program's largely been irrelevant since the Orange Express.
Which sucks. I love that you got success in baseball. Forever a Pat Casey fan. I'm a Beavers baseball guy. But you want to see your college basketball team do better. There's a chance to be represented on the national stage that y'all are missing.
Oregon, UCLA should be fun because UCLA's not great this year. But they've come on a little bit. They've gotten out of their slow start. I'm watching more college hoops this year than I traditionally have. Okay. I think part of the reason for that is I'm interested to see what year 10 is for Tinkle. Oregon's coming off a non-tournament season. So, some people, and I don't think it's very many, questioning Altman, which I think they're going to be right back in the tournament this year. And Portland's going to have a good draft. They might have 2. They're probably going to have 2 picks because Golden State's not very good.
Yep.
And so just kind of fascinated to see what in the college basketball landscape it kind of looks like for talent. Again, not a great draft. But just keeping up with it. Oregon UCLA should be a fun one. Oregon State has to win at USC. You can't beat USC. And I think most Beaver fans in general have kind of pivoted already to the baseball stuff because the program is not giving them a whole lot. The Elite Eight run was fun. It was monumental, but it's already been a couple years and they haven't responded necessarily. I know they went on a youth movement here, a rebuild, but Pope is a killer. Bilodeau was good last night. They can't find whatever it is they're lacking from the road to from home to the road, and so they're stuck in this kind of bottomless, tough route within the conference. That's not even very good. It's not even a good conference.
No, the Pac-12 has never been one of the elites.
It's very mediocre, and it's very top-heavy only, and they're kind of at the bottom of that. So it's really unfortunate, but Oregon is still rolling here. So I'm keeping tabs with Oregon State, watching some of the prospects that are going to be kind of lingering in the draft within the conference. And we'll see what happens when both of them take on UCLA and USC as they switch now. They're both in LA.
Was Jordan Pope like a big 4-star recruit guy for
freshman of the year last year?
Yeah. But getting him out of high school, how I don't really know what the Beavers do recruiting wise. So
they don't do very well.
Well, it's how do the Beavers succeed more? Jordan Pope times 3, but it just doesn't sound like they get their hands on guys that often, unfortunately.
He was a 3-star point guard prospect. I mean, he's not a very big guy.
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of break through when you're 6 foot nothing.
But a lot of college teams have guys like that do
he's
break
good.
Through. Yeah.
There's a reason that programs keep sniffing around his services, and he's been asked multiple times about his commitment long term, which it's another part of the NIL world that sucks is you end up potentially losing talent. I hope he doesn't leave. I like watching him play basketball. He's like one of the only bright spots for Oregon State hoops.